For 3 years straight, my ex-wife and I co-parent fine. No issues. But now over the last couple of months, all of a sudden, she wants to be my friend. She wants to come to my house and sit on my counters and crack jokes, and she wants to have holidays together as a family, and she wants to invite me up to her apartment and help her fix little things around her apartment. I was simply trying to explain how I don't want to be your friend. I've already set that boundary. And now you're stepping on that boundary.
His ex-wife left 3 years ago. Now she wants him back. And then this happened. We got a video from Modern Dating here. Like the video, subscribe, stay on the path of progress. Let's get into it.
They'll start missing you when they realize that they can't replace you. They'll try, but they will realize they can't. Some memories just can't be replaced. Number 2, when they go through a hard time and they realize that they need someone that knows how to comfort them, and they want to be comforted in a way that they have before by you. So I guess what I'm saying is, Jimmy, don't replace a good girl for just a good time.
That's what they do. They think they can upgrade. They try to replace you because you were actually the good man.
Let's read the comment. My ex thought she could upgrade. Turns out not many guys want a 37-year-old cheating mother of 2.
They fail for multiple years trying to replace you. So then they try to be your friend. It's one of those situations where they don't want you, but they don't want anybody else to have you either. They brainwash themselves and let people think that they're better than what they are. So they think they can upgrade from you, not realizing in the moment that you were the best they were going to find. That you were truly the good man that would have taken care of her and done anything for her. So once they get down that road of trying to replace you and failing over a couple of years, they then get the bright idea of, well, let's be friends with my ex. I'm going to try to be friends with him. I just went through this. For 3 years straight, my ex-wife and I...
This is something that you'll see very, very often, is that sometimes when women are with a man and he's more of a simpy type of dude, eventually what happens, because of him simping so hard, he's putting her on a higher and higher pedestal. He's putting her on such a high pedestal that now she says, oh wow, you are, look at this little loser down here. I'm actually way better than this guy now. And she eventually just gets her ego so inflated where she thinks, I don't need this guy anymore. He's a loser in comparison to me, so I'm out of here. But then once they get out of that relationship with the simpy guy who inflated their ego so much, they get out into the real world and face real world consequences. They find out like, oh, I'm kind of average. No, I wasn't referring to this guy as a simp, by the way. I'm just saying that happens a lot in those cases where simps inflate the ego so much. I don't know if it was the case with this one, but it happens very often.
Right idea of, well, let's be friends with my ex. I'm going to try to be friends with him. I just went through this. For 3 years straight, my ex-wife and I co-parent fine. No issues. We didn't have any conversations past what needed to be happening for our kid. But now over the last couple of months, all of a sudden, she wants to be my friend. She wants to come to my house and sit on my counters and crack jokes and, talk about her day and talk about her problems with work and everything else. She wants to have holidays together as a family, and she wants to make me coffee in the morning when I go over to pick my kid up to take him to school. She wants to invite me up to her apartment and help her fix little things around her apartment. She wants to do Halloween themed like a family with our son. But when I finally saw the light and I finally said, what's going on here? Like, is she trying to get back in my life? Is she trying to be back together?
She regrets it so hard. It is very clear. Trying to sneak her way back into your life. But generally, you cannot go back to an ex. You just can't. Of course, there's exceptions to the rule everywhere, okay? But as a general rule, you can't go back to your ex. And why you can't go back, one of the biggest reasons is that she knows how far she can push your boundaries. She knows just how far you can be pushed and you'll let her get away with it, okay? So we don't know what caused the breakup, whether it was cheating, she was just fed up with it, or, whatever. So now she would know in the back of her head, wow, I basically just walked all over this guy, completely got away with it, and in the end got exactly what I want. And if she's able to do that, and she thinks that about you, she can no longer respect you. And that's what the entire relationship should be built on from the beginning, is your is her respect for you. So she basically just had a dance party on all of your boundaries, broke all the rules, and then eventually you're like, screw it. Yeah, come back into my life. It was all okay. I forgive you. It's in your past. You can't do it, bro. You just can't. You have to maintain that self-respect. If you can't respect yourself, no way in hell she can respect you.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I made it perfectly clear to you that I will not be your friend. We can co-parent. We can, do all that stuff. That's fine. I have no issue with that. But we don't need to talk. I don't need to hear you vent about your work or all this stuff. I don't need you calling me in the morning when you get fired from a job crying your eyes out. I don't need you telling me that you're not wearing panties. Friends don't do that.
Yo, she is trying so hard to get back in a relationship. She's trying so hard.
I was simply trying to explain how I don't want to be your friend. I've already set that boundary, and now you're stepping on that boundary. So your cop-out is that, this is what's best for our kid. Us being friends is what, no, it's not. What's best for our child is for us to just simply co-parent.
Because that makes sense. Obviously, that's fine, and that benefits the children the most, just having a good, healthy co-parenting relationship. And all of your communication can just be about the children and what the children are doing, what they need, and etc. But it's very clear she just wants to be the wife again. She just wants to be the stay-at-home mom or whatever it was. And my man is really not having any of it. Friend means you take on all the responsibilities of a husband without the bedroom fun or affection. Hard pass. This is very true, but actually in this situation, it seems like she wanted the bedroom fun as well. Because exactly like you said, you don't text a friend that you are not wearing any underwear that day, all right? She wants her handyman back. My friend's wife cheated on him and they got divorced. She said she still wanted to be friends and he said no. I was so proud of him. Hell yeah, dude. Stand your ground and make no apologies. Once someone tells you they don't want you once, they can do it again. 100% facts. This is honestly what I love seeing. I love seeing the guys having standards, boundaries, and self-respect. Fantastic. This is exactly what we need in the world.
Because you wanted to go cheat and got flipped out of my bed crying. I need you to get out of my bed. It's time for you to leave. You don't live at my house. She wants to act dramatic because she flipped her car last night while she was drunk and cheating on me. She says I shattered her world when she's the one who went out. She's the one who flipped her car. She's the one who decided to try to leave the house in the first place. So it's all on her, not me. This is what being an adult is. Knowing when to move on.
Hats off to this guy, man. Frame. That's what that is right there. The calm demeanor. Just notice how calm he is compared to the girl. He is totally chilled out by the situation, non-emotional, and she is freaking out. He's absolutely done with it, and I'm here for it.
Don't ask me for relationship advice, because my advice is either break up, get a divorce, or throw him down the stairs.
All right, y'all, so do you side with a man or woman in the case I'm about to present here, okay? I'm actually going to side with the man on it, but I'd like to hear what you have to say. So, this man and this woman, husband and wife, they're having a party. They've been married for a couple years, and the guy's stepkid, her kid, is there at the party. Everybody's having a good time or whatever, and he's giving relationship advice to some of their friends. And she comes over and says, don't take relationship advice from him. And he thinks she's playing around and says, well, it got me you, didn't it? And he gives her a kiss or whatever, and she says, the only reason you got me is because I was recently divorced, scared, and I had a kid. And basically he was a safe choice. And he goes silent, right? And I mean, I don't know, that would be so freaking devastating, okay? But a couple days later, she realizes how silent and how affected he is, and she tries apologizing. He said, I'll be okay. And then like 2 weeks later, she's starting to get into panic because he will not talk to her. He won't do anything. She starts cooking his favorite foods, trying to do all the things that he likes, even goes so far as to have their kids go stay at her parents' house, or his stepkid and her kid go stay at the parents' house. And then she takes him somewhere that was important to them, and they go stay a couple nights there. And then when they come back, he goes to work for a couple days. He comes back. As soon as he walks in the door, he said, can you sit down on the couch for a second? Sits down and said, we're done. We're getting a divorce.
Wow. Wow. She basically shot herself in the foot. That's basically what happened. She red-pilled her husband so hard that he realized, like, oh wow, this is a really bad deal. What? That's crazy. So if this guy was sharp to this kind of information before, he wouldn't have even found himself in a situation like that. But you got to give him credit. Once he like fully realized like, oh wow, this is like actually the situation I'm in. He got red-pilled super hard. Boom, puts the boundaries in place. No, we're done. I'm not putting up with this anymore. So you got to give him credit.
And she tried everything. She begged him not to go. She said, I love you now. I'm so sorry. Blah, blah, blah. I actually side with the guy on this, and I'm not trying to be 100%. Mean. I understand everybody's situation would be different, but the fact of the matter is, and a lot of people are going to say, no, you work harder on a marriage. To me, that contract's null and void because she did not love him when she got into the relationship. Okay, she saw safety. She was panicked after her recent divorce, being a stay-at-home mom with a single kid, so she latched onto the first guy she didn't even love because he had money and could provide safety, and that's what she did, and admitted that's what she did. And so when he found out, he's like, oh, you don't love me? I don't want you then. Do you agree with this guy for divorcing her?
Yeah, obviously I do. The other side of this is, notice they said they were at like a family dinner thing and they were talking about relationship advice. And she comes over in a public setting and just blatantly disrespects him. Just flat out blatantly. Yeah, don't take relationship advice from this guy. He only got me because I was desperate. He only got me because I was desperate, alone, and broke. I needed a pay pig. So that's where this guy walks in. And this is obviously a huge red flag on top of an already existing Chinese communist parade. Good women build up their men. That is what they do. If she was a good woman, she would do the exact opposite. Be building up her man in public instead of tearing him down. And also just one thing I want you guys to notice. Notice how she isn't grateful for that. Notice that? She full-on acknowledged her situation. She says, I was desperate. I was looking just basically for any man to take care of my kid and myself. Didn't really care about you. Shouldn't she be grateful for that guy for doing all of that for her? No. Why is she not just grateful for that? Because she knows in the back of her head, the only kind of guy that would accept that, he's a terminal beta, okay? It's what it is. He's simping hard. He probably had very few options. It just is what it is. You know, good for him for walking away once he realized that, but that's the situation he was in. So just notice, she cannot respect you because you got in a relationship with her. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? She knows her value was down here, okay? And you walk in, you're like, wow, look at that thing that nobody wants. Let me just, yeah, you're the best. I'm going to put a ring on it. She can't respect you. She can't respect you from the get-go. That level of disrespect you cannot look past. Yep. How could she say that in front of other people? The disrespect. Why would she ever feel comfortable enough to say those words publicly at a party?
She said she admitted she didn't love him. She just chose him for safety. And to me, that would be about the only more devastating thing a woman could do is love me and then cheat on me, which to me means she never really loved me in the first place. But let me know what your thoughts are. I would definitely side with the guy on this, but I understand everybody's got their own opinion.
100% leave your comments below.
I have kids and I don't want no more. And then I also don't want to date a baby dad.
That is a very specific type of man that is willing to take care of another man's children. It's a bad deal, bro. One of the main reasons why I want children is to continue my genetic legacy, not someone else's.
Dude, I'll tell you what, I'm a mother, so when a guy's like, ooh, let me go over, like, I don't care if your kid's there, like, I'll wait till they're asleep. Blocked. Done. Like, what the you mean you gonna wait for my kid to be asleep? Hell.
Yeah, real quick.
That's an instant turn off.
You're a mom, you're out at the clubs, you're dressed like that. I feel bad for the kid. I just feel bad for the kid. That's it.
He proposed to her with a $70,000 engagement ring. But since they broke up, he wants his ring back. Before proposing to her, they traveled the world. I mean, he took this girl all over the world. And one day, when they were in Italy, burned tortillas. I'm still gonna eat them. He bought her a $70,000 ring. And he asked her to marry him. But during the engagement, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. And this was no longer fun for her. In fact, at the beginning, she was going to his treatments with him. And then he started to notice that slowly but surely she stopped going to his treatments. And he found this text message on her cell phone. My Bruce is going to be in Connecticut for 3 days. I need me some playtime. And the other guy that she was texting referred to her as Cupcake. Well, no need to speculate. She was having an affair. When he broke the engagement, he wanted his ring back. Since we're not going to get married anymore, I want my $70,000 ring back.
Yikes. Big yikes. This guy absolutely dodged a bullet. Went through all of this before getting married. This was a blessing in disguise. Wow. A $70,000 ring though, bro? Why? I really just don't understand. $70,000, that's a down payment on a decent house. But really, you want to get her that ring to show off on Instagram with? Dude, it's just a yikes, bro, okay? At least he's out of that situation.
She said, you gave it to me, so I'm keeping it. And he took her to court, to the Massachusetts Supreme Court. But should she be allowed to keep the ring?
Oh,
and I know what
not.
you're gonna say. Well, she cheated. Okay, let's put the infidelity aside. Let's pretend for a second that she didn't cheat on him. Should she still keep the $70,000 ring?
No.
It was a gift, wasn't it? The highest court in Massachusetts, however, they sided with him. They said, listen, young lady, you gotta give the ring back. They made her give the ring back to him. See, I tend to think that the woman should be allowed to keep the ring.
Grandma, you're on her side? Bro, this is just the hive mind. Women will almost always just side with other women. Always. The ring is not a gift. It's more of a sign of commitment. If that commitment is not there, that sign should not exist.
But the court saw it as a gift with a condition.
The ring is part of the contract. You split up, you give it back. Simple. Fellas, don't spend $70K on a ring. That should be obvious. Like, damn. Unless you are mega millionaire, you know, raking in the cash. That is just absurd. That's the problem. She looked at the ring as a gift and not a commitment. Right there.
Y'all want to know some that I've done to men that I will never ever regret?
Oh, this should be good.
Years ago, I was dating a guy for like 6 to 8 months, right?
Okay.
During those 6 to 8 months, he called me to tell me that he lost his job. I was like, okay. I waited 2 hours. I said, hey, let's meet up for a drink or something to eat or something like that. And he was like, okay, yeah, sure. As soon as we get to the spot, I look him dead in the face and I said, hey, it's not gonna work out between us.
I beg your pardon?
And he was like, what? Are you being serious? And I was like, yes, I am. He was like, why are you breaking up with me? Is it because I don't have a job? And I was like, funny you said that. That's exactly why I'm breaking up with you.
Well, damn, did you ever care about this man?
That's honest.
And then he goes, wow, you are a gold digger. And I was like, yeah, and you really are a broke. So look at us. And he was like, wow, you really gonna leave me over me not having a job? Like I'm not gonna go get one? And I was like, no. And he tried to make me feel bad that I was breaking up with him because he no longer had a job. And I was like, I do not care.
Look at that high value woman. Wow. Miss Face Tattoos. What is that, some stars or something? My dude dodged a bullet. He's the one that really won this whole situation.
I was married. I left my marriage. There's no lack of a lineup begging for the opportunity. So I don't know where you get the idea that people like avoid me like the plague. Check my DMs on Insta. Like,
wait, there's a what?
A whole lineup.
Of men who want what?
Literally try to get me to date them.
Look, as a woman, you don't get the W until you have the ring.
I had it.
Yeah, but you don't have it now.
I haven't even been in the dating for long.
You're like
leaving.
That's the L. Yeah, just because men want to you, that's not the
No,
W.
I don't think that they want to just me, but I know that plenty of men want to date me. I just left a scenario with someone who literally was asking my ring size already.
But you're like, oh, all these dudes in my DMs. That's just the life of a woman.
Exactly.
This girl next to you says it's easy mode for dating.
It's just the delusion, bro. The delusion. It never stops. It never ends. It just levels up, bro. Just levels up, level up, level up, level up. Like a day, like a day, like a day. Level up, like a day. Damn. Bedroom attention is not the same thing as wifey attention, all right? Not even close. Especially on Instagram, I can guarantee you, I have no idea who this chick is. This looks like the typical California girl. I bet if you go on her Instagram, there's a bunch of bikini pics, bunch of face filters, all this kind of stuff. Some inspirational quotes probably. And you think the men in those messages, based off of all the information they have about you, seeing you in a bikini and seeing you try your best at being attractive, you think that means that all of these men want to marry you? based off of that information they have on you. Oh, they're after my personality. Yes, and that's what I feature on my Instagram, clearly. You're delusional.
What's the lowest amount of money a guy should spend on a wedding ring for you?
Oh, it should be like for sure 30, 40K.
No.
What she actually meant was whatever the guy can afford and feels would be reasonable. Money can go into other places that are more valuable than a ring.
Okay. No, that's not what she said. That's not what she meant to say. I don't know if you're trying to cover for your fellow female, but no. Like the video, subscribe, stay on the path of progress. I'll see you later.